Hello everyone and welcome back to the Hammerdown Festival YouTube channel, and today we're sat with Matt from Ransom. How you doing, Matt?
I'm great. I'm great. You know, when Ransom's in town, you know the hammer's going down. That's what they say.
Yes, absolutely, mate. Absolutely. Well, it's great to have you. I saw you guys for the first time just a couple of weeks ago at Breaking Bands Festival, and what strikes immediately for me is the energy and the enthusiasm on stage. It seems like you're one of those bands that the live show is so crucial to. So I wonder where that energy comes from, why you value the live show so much, and if you think that has helped you with your festival success this season. You've been on everything.
Well, what it is, I'll tell you what it is. It's we play every time we go on. Every gig's Wembley. We have a saying, and people sort of kind of take the piss a little bit about it. But we say, like, every gig's Wembley, every dog and ducks download. Every person counts, and we play every gig as if it's our last day. We always have done. We did the hard yards in the pubs. We played for ages and ages. And it was only because when lockdown happened, we couldn't play anywhere. So we just started writing some of our own songs, and who knew we could write? And it just kind of we just started embracing that. But I think it's the old Slade adage, like when they went on at Reading and everyone thought they'd had it, and they went on and they tore the place apart, and everyone
Yeah.
just started kind of took it. And I think I've always had some kind of affinity. I mean, I've witnessed Dee Snider at Reading in '82. I thought he was brilliant. I remember Ozzy Osbourne at Donington in '84 and David Lee Roth. And I always loved that kind of larger than life characters. Bon Scott was my hero. So I've always had that kind of feeling, and the band had embraced that. Dave, it's his band. I joined his band, and he, as a guitarist, he kind of like formed this. And he's always been a great performer. He's always out there, and such a phenomenal. His son Zach, who's on bass, is just he's the talent of the band. He writes most of the sort of
Oh,
riffs and stuff.
amazing. Oh, that's amazing. So you recently put out High Bankrolled Commodity. That's a
Yeah.
fun and lively song. Tell us a bit about the song, where the inspiration comes from behind it.
Yeah, like with everything, there's always a bit of a home truth. We've been approached by promotion companies. We signed to Heavy Metal Records for a while. All the times all these bands that we see out there with these big tours up and down the country and playing, and they're not really going anywhere. They're going around in circles, and it's kind of leads me on to why I like what you're doing. I've been following your career for a while, and I like that. You're a straight down the line guy. You turn up, you're in the mosh pit at download, you're doing like orchestrating, conducting the audience. And I love that. Oh, that's brilliant. I was very keen to come and play for you. And so was the band because of that kind of energy. And I think HBRC is all about the fact that all these people, there's a lot of sharks in the industry, a lot of really kind of people who promise the world and
Yeah.
they get nowhere. So it's kind of, we're all, me and Dave, somebody we've been a bit longer than two. We've been around a bit. We've seen it all. And Zippy, the drummer as well. And it's just the bullshit, really. Just play, just enjoy it. If you can't be happy, enjoy playing. What's the point of doing it? There's no point otherwise.
Yeah, definitely. And you guys really seem like you do enjoy it. And also something else that you seem to enjoy, takes me nicely on to the next question, is your song titles. I'm just going to read three to you, Matt.
Okay.
Even Nuns Watch Porn, Back to the Boozer, Hell Fuck Yeah. You love your cool song titles. Where do you get the inspiration from? You write
It's
fun.
again, it's what happens to us. Even nuns was, but we were driving back the van from Call of the Wild, and there was a quote from the Pope, the old Pope who just passed away, saying that that society was going down the pan, and even nuns watch porn. And of course, they all turned around and looked at me. I said, "Well, that's the next song, then. That's a song title." Well, we're doing SOS. We've been told it's a family show, so we might have to retitle "Even Nuns Eat Prawns." I think that's what we might have to do for that night.
Oh, good. Oh, please do that. That's a fun lyric. Definitely
But
do.
yeah, I mean, and again, Back to the Boozer was again after we done all these tracks. We did the EP Halfway to Hell, which we released at 3:33 October, which I thought was quite funny. And we kind of, as Dave just said to me one day, he said, we hit all these songs out, and we thought, we'd be a launching pad to go on and play festivals, and we did. To be fair, we played a lot of HRH played and all the kind of Call of Wild and Fireball and everything. And Dave just turned to me, he's like, "Well, Back to the Boozers then." So that's kind of where that came from, and so we just wrote a song
Right.
about the thing of me always posing with the girls and the barmaids and that. So it was kind
Yeah,
of
yeah, 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 yeah.
it's
And
all a pit, it's all a
that's the
piss
title
take.
of the album as well, isn't it?
Yeah, that was it. That was what we did of the first one of the album we did. All the time, we do sort of two or three songs, we'll do at a time and we'll produce them. And Hellfuck Yeah was because we were being asked to play Planet Rock Stock, and we done it, but they kept kind of like, they won't keep refusing to play our songs for some. There was a different excuse. It's too long. It's too short. It's not this. And we just thought, well, why don't we write a really catchy song that they'll love? And
Yeah.
they won't be able to play it. And we were at Planet Rock Stop for their 25th anniversary. Quite funny. It sent Wyatt to hospital as well. He just come back from his long walk. I think it was with the last people he wanted to see. Anyway, they said, we did a big sort of like, it's 25 years of Planet Rock, great. And in that time, they still haven't played one of our fucking tracks. And that was the kind of thing, they got a big cheer. So it was kind of like, it was all a bit tongue in cheek. We don't take ourselves too seriously. It's all about the fun, and we really love it. We love it. We enjoy playing it. We do it for the people and the smiles. That's what we like.
Well, I can tell. I mean, it's so honest what you guys do. It's just a hell of a lot of fun, and that's what I appreciate about your bands. So, speaking of going back to the boozers, I was trying to find the exact quote earlier on your socials. I was scrolling through it. I couldn't find it exactly, but I've seen you post so many times of the forever being a pub band. I don't know what exact quote is that you guys post quite often, but tell me a little about that. There must be some kind of inside joke about being
Well,
a pub band.
yeah, it goes back to something I just touched on a minute ago.
Yeah.
We're trying to get played on Planet Rock, and a certain DJ wrote back and said, "Well, so all I hear is you sound like a pub band to me." And instead of taking that as an insult, we took that as a compliment because people come out. I mean, we could go and support bands up in Darlington, Hartlepool, and great people and that, but we get paid 50 quid between us or something and play it all on fares. Otherwise, we can go to our local boozer and play for 300 or 400 quid and get paid. But people are out for a good time, and there's no illusions of the grandeur. There's no kind of like great place to go anymore. You got to play every gig that's in front of you, where there's two men and a dog pissing up the stage or whatever.
Yeah.
So playing the pubs, we get to meet people every week. We have fun, and we try and pretend every gig. Our stadium thing is like bringing a stadium rock to a venue near you. And we turn every pub into the kind of atmosphere. So people coming in with their pints thinking, what the fuck is this? I can't remember. And they suddenly get involved in it. And that's kind of what it's about, really. It's just, just taking a piss out of everything and just having fun and just enjoying it.
Brilliant. I love it. So I mentioned earlier, you guys, you're very much loved on the festival circuit. You seem to be doing so many festivals and more every year, crucially as well. You've already mentioned things like Wildfire, SOS that you've done, last year, this year, whatever. What else have you got coming up this summer? What other festivals have you got outside of Hammerdown?
Well, we're looking forward to Rocking the Bowl, playing up in Sheffield. Always wanted to come and play up there. You apply to all of them, and of course, people take time. We opened up the new wave of classic rock last year really successfully, and we don't mind. We'll give it. We played Call of the Wild. They put us on at 11 o'clock in the morning. It's, you won't get anyone there. We had everyone there. Everyone was out of bed. We go on the websites. I don't know what other bands do, and they're great, and everyone's got their own favourite band, and audiences are quite fickle. You're the band of the weekend until the next band comes on anyway, so we know that. So we just in our 30, 40 minutes, we try and make it count. So we go out and talk to people. We hang out instead of hanging out in VIP areas or whatever. Like we'll go out and hang out, and talk to people, and do shots, and that's kind of what we do. We don't think we're anything special or anything. We're one of you. We are one of you, so that's what we are. So we hang out, and people seem to like that. And I think during lockdown, during COVID, I saw all these groups of people on Facebook and social media, and realised that it's, there are people out there who don't necessarily have a voice in the national charts or anything like that, but they're such a community, and they travel everywhere. And they're wonderful people. Some of them come down to see us in London, and we're really homage. And there was just a moment at Call of the Wild where I didn't realise this. I didn't realise the power of social media. I didn't realise how much it means to certain people. And I was walking across the grass. We play. I can walk down the street and people will spit at me and not even talk to me. I go up to this place in Cornwall. I'm walking across the field, and people are asking for my autograph and bringing copies of my book to sign. And it's like, what the hell's going on here?
Wow.
And we finished this track. I think there's a video of it. And I just broke down in tears at the roar at the end of it. It was just like, where have you been all my life? I've been doing this all my life. And all of a sudden, there's all these people I didn't know existed, out there who really dig what we do. And it's incredible. I've been in this game 43 years, banging my head every outhouse, doghouse in London, been rejected from more sort of record company offices and public toilets, and I was going to mention. But, just to see these people and just really genuinely into what you're doing, it really did move me a lot. And that's why we do it, just for that kind of reaction, really.
Mate, that is amazing. That's so, I love to hear that. That's amazing. So, okay, one slightly less serious question to end the day. We've been asking everybody. In fact, it is actually very serious. If you were to build your dream festival, Ransom will be playing with 6 other bands, artists from any period in history. I want to give me the 6 bands that you would love to play with in Ransom.
Wow. If you give them any era,
Yes, absolutely. Can be bands that are no longer with us, not a problem.
definitely have the Beatles in there.
Okay, nice.
Definitely have AC/DC with Bon Scott.
Right, cool. Yeah.
I'll have Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
Definitely. I'll have Ozzy with Randy.
Nice.
I'll have Van Halen,
Okay.
and I'll have Motorhead.
Mate, that is by some way the quickest anyone has at all been able to answer that question. I've had to do a lot of editing on some of the videos where there's two of them and they're like, oh, but we can't. What about that band? Oh no, we can't. Oh, what if we
Yeah.
put this band in there? That was quick fire, mate. I love that. Well, Matt, I wish you all the best for the rest of this festival season and when you go back to the boozers in the autumn. It's going to be a pleasure to hang out next month. Can't wait. And thank you so much for being on.
No, it's an absolute honour, mate. And remember, because there's a song that goes out there. Hurry up, Harry, come on. We're going down the pub. God
Cheers,
bless
dude.
you, mate. Cheers, well. Take care.